All right. Is it good for Jeff Sessions, though? I don't know. Here for reaction, Fox News contributor and syndicated radio talk show host of The Leslie Marshall Show, Leslie Marshall. And senior columnist at townhall.com, Kurt Schlichter. It's so nice to see you guys in person.
It's nice to be here. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Thank you very much. It is a fabulous filled with fabulous people. And right now, your state is in a little bit of turmoil over some of the bombs that the Attorney General dropped last night in this new lawsuit. So let's go back to that. He's cracking down on a number of laws that he says here in California make it tough for the feds to do what they need to do. Leslie, the reception has not been good for most of the Democratic leaders who say it's a political stunt, it's phony, it's a hit job.
I do think it's political. I agree. Governor and other Democrats that have said that, but I do think people need to look at, we should thank, in a sense, the Attorney General, because this could clarify something that's constantly been argued with the Constitution, and that is, where is that line with state law? I mean, federal supersedes state, but where is that line, and how much power does the state have to make laws with regard to issues like immigration?
Well, it's interesting because I covered at the Supreme Court a few years ago when Arizona showed up there with SB 1070, and even though they allowed some of it to move forward, much of the language in this decision, Kurt, as you know, was all about that the feds really are the ones who are supposed to be running immigration policy.
Well, that's exactly true, Shannon. The immigration policy is reserved to the federal government. Now, what's funny about Arizona is Arizona wanted to be harder on illegal aliens. California wants to easier. It wants to actively interfere with the federal government's primary responsibility of defending our borders. This is a bad idea. History teaches us it's a bad idea. Back about 150 years ago, the Democrats fired at Fort Sumter. That worked out poorly for them. I think it's very much along the same lines. Look, our representatives, our House of Representatives, our Senate, and our president passed a bill and signed a law. This is the law of the land. And California is seeking to undermine it, totally disrupting the constitutional order. Well, it can't be tolerated.
Well, today the Attorney General, your Attorney General here in California, said, we do follow the law and the Constitution. We hope the feds do as well. So listen, this starts out with a judge who was appointed by George W. Bush, correct? Not George H.W. So, I mean, the politics is not supposed to play into it, but it starts there. It'll go through the Ninth Circuit, probably to the Supreme Court. We'll see how far it goes. But I want to ask you about some of the other things I talked about with the U.S. Attorney General there. This idea that there is a push for a second special counsel. And, you know, Trey Gowdy for a long time has said he wasn't a fan of that. But Leslie, now he says, I think we've gotten to a point where we can't, the public may not have confidence in letting the DOJ investigate itself. We need someone from outside. The Attorney General didn't rule it out. He certainly didn't commit to it.
I think he didn't commit to it because I don't think there's any there. He sees things that I don't see, and I loved your question. You know, can you show us some of what's going on? You know, show us some of your hand. Everything that I have seen, and I am, you know, not a fan of this administration, but you know, I want truth as an American, you know, regardless of, you know, being a Democrat or otherwise. And everything that I have seen with regard to the information that was provided is the judge that was issuing the FISA warrant at the time was told about the dossier, that it was paid for by a political organization, but you know, he wasn't given Michael Steele. He wasn't given those specifics.
He wasn't told DNC or Hillary Clinton, Kurt.
You know, if I had gone to a federal judge and tried to pull shenanigans like that, it would be a race between me being disbarred and thrown in the pokey. Okay.
Leslie says no.
Oh, please.
If that's the case, then how come we don't have the Attorney General going, yes, we need to have a separate independent counsel about this tomorrow?
Well, and we do. And the reason is, unfortunately, Jeff Sessions, who is an honorable and decent man, also looks on the Department of Justice as an institution that needs to be protected. He loves the DOJ. Unfortunately, the American people have grave doubts about the propriety of the actions of the Department of Justice, whether it's been corrupted, whether it's been acting illegally. There is an appearance of impropriety. We absolutely need someone from the outside, and there are great people outside. Judge Stephen Larson here in Los Angeles, veteran prosecutor, former federal judge, a guy who has taken on the federal government as a criminal defense lawyer and shown misconduct. I think, for example, he would be a great person who's not in Washington, who's not in the bubble, to come in with the experience to look at it, and let's let the chips fall where they may.
Well, and the AG did tell me today, we're reminded that he told us last fall he had a senior federal prosecutor outside of Washington looking at a lot of these things. So we'll see if that goes public, if he goes with the special counsel. Who knows? Stand by. But it's good to see you both.
Good to see you in LA.
Thank you for having us.
Come see us in D.C. soon.